Hi, I'm Claude and welcome to the Crux, the place where topical issues and satire meet and cause the most tragic, momentous, heart-wrenching spectacle ever. So everything these days seems to be a tad sensationalized. I'm constantly told I have to be outraged about nearly everything, but I'm sick of being outraged. It's exhausting. Whatever happened to mild apathy and slight disinterest? The problem is that every day all the media outlets have to one-up themselves. So when something actually sensational happens, there's no way to ratchet things up a notch. They're not saving anything for the true cataclysms, an earthquake, the rapture, or an army of Miley Cyrus clones unleashed on an unsuspecting populace. You could simply say it was an event of unspeakable horror, but you did already use that last week about people getting stuck at the top of a Ferris wheel for half an hour. Of course, only after you signed up every person there to an exclusive interview deal to tell a harrowing tale of their survival. Newsreaders have now become news peddlers, hawking their wares to us all. You want some news that's fresh, best in the city, or locally produced. Don't trust other news, got too much preservatives in it. The only way to fix this is to keep coming up with new words to describe how amazing or outrageous something is. Until that becomes the new base level, then it's time for a new word, or the double, triple, or even quadruple adjective. There was a mega ulti-dire landslide outrage this week when it was announced that the price of stamps will increase next year by 5 cents. The word superlative needs one of its own just to keep up. Or is there another way? I propose we ban adjectives from all media reports for 1 year, as well as a moratorium on exclamation marks. If we can put a price on carbon, then surely it's much easier to put a price on sensationalism. That way you can still get news that's written to outrage, but it'll cost you $150. Or for $2, you can buy a paper that is a factual report of what's happened. Which brings us to sports reporting. Every youngster that plays one good game is not the next sporting superstar. If a well-known player does something that shows humility or graciousness, it's not quite the breaking news a back-page headline would make it seem. Wow, he can play tennis well and sometimes he's not a total asshole? He truly is a sporting god. But this kind of sensationalism is a rod for its own back. Journalists will exclaim that a sportsperson is boring or lacks personality because they will only give the same old cliched answers at a press conference, which means journalists have to make the most boring answers seem interesting. But sports people are only trying to protect themselves. If they say anything slightly interesting about an opponent, the media will feed itself into a frenzy for the next month about a nasty feud. If they say they're going well, of course they're up themselves, and the media has no other option than to bring them down a peg or two. If they say they're doing badly, they obviously lack self-confidence and aren't worthy of anyone's respect. And that's why you'll hear, it was a game of two halves. We're happy with the results, and we're going to keep taking it 1 week at a time. Of course, in some situations, sensationalism is warranted. If you're a journalist in a hot war zone who's just seen a bus full of innocent people cut down by heavy artillery, and, maybe even personally lost a leg. Sure, in that instance, it's okay to call the city you're in hell on earth. But if they use that phrase to describe that several people left their wheelie bins out too long on a suburban street, well, then that is an egregious overextension of socially binding levels of hyperbole. In saying all that, newsworthy is an adjective. That's the crux.